Okay, welcome to my second video on this awesome standard called Sugar. In my last video, we went over the most basic way to navigate these chord changes. In this video, I'm going to elaborate a little bit and talk about some a little bit more advanced concepts. So we've talked about how you can play harmonic minor over these minor 2/5s. This week, I want to talk about more melodic minor scales. So when you see a half diminished, this is obviously a minor 2/5. Another option, when you see a half diminished chord, a minor 7 flat 5, you can think of that, if you want, as a Locrian scale with a raised 2. This is a mode of the melodic minor scale. So like this would be like an F melodic minor. Or you could just think of it as a D Locrian scale, but with a raised 2. And that just draws out the 2 a little bit more. You know, usually on a 2/5, the emphasis is on the 5. You can do altered scales, diminished scales, you know, whatever you want, you know, all kinds of stuff over these 5 chords. But if you really want to make the 2 shine, bring out that 2 a little bit more, you can do this Locrian raised 2 scale. And then, as I said, we can think of this as altered. So let's think of this as like Locrian raised 2, and this as altered. Now this is kind of fast. You might not have time to really do all that. You could just do like G altered over this whole thing, really, if you want to. We have a slower, you know, we have a full bar of G7 here, and then we have a little bit more time if you want to do if you'd rather do the Locrian raised 2 scale here, you have a full bar to do that. And then you could do an altered scale here. As I talked about in my last video, you really should be thinking about playing these Lydian dominant scales when it's explicitly says sharp 11. You know, they're kind of telling you this is that type of dominant 7 chord. It's that Lydian dominant kind of sound. But we also have an opportunity to do the same thing over here. So in my previous video, I talked about how you can just play an F minor, like an F Locrian scale over these 2 bars. That's a little bit easier. It totally works. It's a little bit more straightforward. But the slightly more advanced concept is you could play another Lydian dominant chord scale right here. So that gives you 3 opportunities to play a Lydian dominant scale. Here, here, and here. So, I mean, there are many, many things that you can do over this song. And by the way, I always want to mention, especially with a song like this, it's a very bluesy song. So play as much blues as you want. Even over the second half, which is less straightforward, feel free to just rip like tons of blues. Like there's no such thing as too much blues on this tune. You know, little proof of concept here. Let's play some blues over the second half of this form. Literally, there's nowhere that the blues doesn't work. So here's one option to navigate these. There's many different possibilities, but here's just one path through these changes that you could do, which is a little bit more advanced than what we talked about in the last video. So maybe try C minor, C harmonic minor, C minor, G altered, C minor, D Locrian raised 2, G altered, C minor, G flat Lydian dominant, back to C minor, E flat Lydian dominant, D Locrian raised 2, G altered, A flat Lydian dominant, G altered. So what are we doing here? Tons of melodic minor scales. This song just has a lot of opportunities for that. So you can use melodic minor scales in this tune to really spice it up and bring out some of these chords and make your solo more interesting. But again, don't forget you can always just forget any of the stuff I just said and play blues just at any point throughout the form.